I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado Springs Real Estate Authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. She's a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado Springs has to offer. Great talking with you this morning, Barb. Now, we air the Real Estate Voice every Saturday. If you can't listen to the whole show, it's available on YouTube. Just reach out to Barb Schlinker, Schlinker. Do that search, or also you can find it on most podcasts like iHeart Radio. Barb, this is still a red hot real estate market, and especially for home sellers. My listeners tell me they love your show because they learn so much about buying and selling homes, and it gives them information to help them succeed with their real estate investment, probably the biggest investment of their life. What will we be covering today, Barb?
Well, I'm excited about today's show because we're seeing some changes right now in the market, especially with the rates going up. So the first topic is going to cover where exactly is this real estate market heading. And then the second segment, we're going to talk about costly home selling mistakes that you should know before you put your home on the market. The third segment kind of dovetails into that. It's going to talk about home inspections. It seems like most home sellers are really surprised when the buyer says, okay, I'll pay so much for your house. Then they come back and they ask for stuff. So we'll talk about that and what are the things to watch out for and how a home seller can prepare so they don't make those mistakes when they're in the throes of moving. And then the very last segment we're going to talk about is probably the number 2 question I get when I go to people's homes is, which updates actually give me the best return on my investments? What do I have to do? What do I not have to do to get my house ready for sale? And of course, as always, we're going to be covering our hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, I look forward to that. I mean, there are so many misconceptions, and I think that's one of the things that you really cover here. And also, you know, those inspection things, nobody likes being surprised. And you've seen enough things over the years that you're not surprised by too much. Let's start off with this. The real estate market still red hot. Real estate is really key right now in a lot of people's lives, either buying or especially selling. Why do you think so many home sellers are holding back from putting their homes on the market? And where do you think this real estate market is headed right now?
Well, Richard, I say the number one issue for people is really not being sure about where their destination is going to be. I've had some people do that where they sign an agreement with me and then they go out there and start looking and go, oh, this isn't going to work for me. I can't find either something in my budget or I can't figure out where I want to go. So there is a lot of preparation before you put your house on the market. And here's why. Once you commit to selling your house, you're committed. There's very few outs for a home seller. There's a whole bunch for a home buyer. So you want to be prepared before you do it. So people are a little concerned about where the market's going. So number one, basically, is not being prepared, not knowing what your destination is. Then the number 2 reason is if you have a home to sell, it creates this dilemma. We call it the catch-22. Many home sellers will not accept a contingency contract, meaning a seller says, okay, I want to buy this house. Will you accept my offer contingent on my home selling? And don't worry, the market's hot, it'll sell, it's all good. Well, we don't know that. And sometimes things can fall apart. So most home sellers are reluctant to take those kind of offers. And many home sellers that are moving to another house need to get their money out of the home to make their next move. And we do have a lot of solutions for that, including cash buyers. So that's pretty exciting. And then the number 3 reason is that if they have to compete for a home. So this has been a problem, not just for home sellers, but for sure for home buyers. It seems as though in the past year or two, there's been at least 10 buyers for every house that goes on the market. Fortunately, that has tamped down more recently. We're seeing a little bit more competition come on the market. The buyers have more choices. Not every home gets a bidding war. Certainly not every home that goes on the market in every price range. But if you are competing against other buyers, and having a really good agent makes a difference in this, it can make it a lot more difficult to get your offer accepted if you have a house to sell. Per the National Association of Realtors, the average home sold got about 4 to 5 offers in the past couple of months. I'd say that's kind of mellowing out just a little bit. So you want to be prepared going into it. How am I going to get my cash out to make my next move? And then the number 4th reason is there are fewer homes to choose from. And so just so you know, even though we're seeing more homes go on the market, the inventory of available homes is still low, but it is rising. So I did some research on this morning, Richard, just to kind of figure out what are the real numbers. The inventory of available homes is up by 44% from last year. So that's good. However, if you look back to pre-COVID dates, which is my benchmark for when the market was kind of normal, our inventory is still down by almost half compared to pre-COVID months. So right now, all types of properties, single family, townhome, condo, patio home, whatever, as of this morning, there were 1,067 homes available for sale, and 976 of those are single family homes. So we're still in a situation, if you compare that to 2019, there were more like 1,800 homes on the market. We're still in a situation where we have a low supply and we have higher demand because that millennial generation is coming behind us boomers. And guess what? They have strength in numbers. There are more people, they're coming of age, they're getting into their late 20s, mid 30s, even late 30s, and they have the resources to buy homes. The number 5 reason is some buyers will end up getting priced out of the market. And that's really unfortunate. It's sad to see because there's not really any relief when it comes to rent rates right now. Rents in this area are very high. You know, Richard, I just came back from my niece's graduation. She graduated from law school, which was tremendous. And she got a job in the smaller market. So they encourage these attorneys to go work in the lesser served markets and get public defender jobs. Her specialty is taking care of kids in needs. And she said that she got a really nice apartment in this small town in Nebraska, 3 bedrooms, only $1,200 a month. And I think that's wonderful because a lot of these kids come out of college with huge college student loan debts that they have to pay back over time. Isn't that true, Richard?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And we've got all the controversy of whether the government ought to forgive all of those. But the reality is all of us have paid them usually in the past. And I think it'll be going forward as well. So the price that they pay for their living, whether renting or a home, is very important. And we've talked about that before. A lot of times people can get a home for what they're paying for rent.
Exactly. And at least around here, for sure, not in the small town she was at. Now, maybe you could buy a home for the same house payment. I didn't check that. But if you graduated from college and you had these student loan debts and you're moving to this area, you're going to pay for a 3-bedroom apartment. You're probably going to pay double what she's paying in that market.
Wow.
The interest rates right now are upper 4s for the VA and the government loans, and then the mid 5s for conventional. The average price increase from a year ago is just under 16%, still a strong seller's market. Average price increase in the last year is over $70,000. So that's great if you're a homeowner, but getting in to be a homeowner is the biggest challenge. And this is part of what we do. We help buyers get into homes. We help sellers sell their homes for top dollar. And our average over asking price is 107%. That's actually 4.7% more than the average agent. So we actually help our home sellers get $26,000 more than the average agent right now. So if you're thinking of making a move and you want to find out what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
I'm Richard Randall here with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making that move and you want to put money in your pocket when you sell your home, the most you can do and the best you can do is to visit barbhasthebuyers.com and call her at 719-301-3900. We're talking about why some home sellers are on the fence about selling their home right now. What are some other reasons, Barb, that they're hesitating?
Well, I think a lot of people are hesitating right now because they're worried that maybe they're buying at the top of the market. They're worried that buying a home may not keep up with inflation. The good news is there are more homes to choose from for buyers. There's more competition for sellers. And I just pulled down this report that was put out by the National Association of Realtors about where they're forecasting annual sales and price growth to be. And it was a little bit shocking to me. I mean, 2021 saw on average nationwide about a 25% increase in home prices. That's a big jump. Their forecast nationwide is about 8%. And then in 2023, it's going to go down to 4%. So we're going to see kind of a mellowing out of the craziness, but I don't think the values are going to go backwards. So overall, you can't go wrong investing in real estate. You have to pay for a place to live anyway. So I believe the rate of appreciation will actually go down in the future. What that means is the rate of price increase will go down, but the overall values, even in a very even market, are going to continue to go up. So are there higher house payments ahead for people? Yes. We've all been very spoiled by the 2 to 3% interest rates. Those days are over. But it's going to go back to the typical interest rates that we've seen in the past. If you look back, even since 2001, the average rates for mortgage interest were in the mid fives, about what they are right now. So I don't think it's a bad sign. I think it's just more of a normalizing market. We're still in a strong seller's market, but you need to know how to price right, get the home ready for sale. And we've got some great options to position your home to get the most amount of money. And if you want to find out about that, you go to barbhasthebuyers.com or call us at 719-301-3900.
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com, or you can Google her on YouTube and elsewhere on the internet, SCHLINKER. A short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing costly home selling mistakes to know before you even put your home up for sale. Stay tuned for that.